Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel Trainophile. I know I'm back after a long time. It's due to health issues and my voice. So let's get started with our today's video. Something really important, something that we think but we do not take actions on. We are aware of it but we do not plan it well. Time is money. We all know this. But do you know, rather than being productive, we often waste our time and ultimately money. Do you agree with this? I'll give you some hint. Do you want to know how do you spend your time? Where it actually gets deposited? And based off that, how much money do you earn? Do you want to rate yourself on the time wasters of the day? Then stay tuned until the end of this video because our today's topic is 5 things that waste your time. Yes, generally we often hear about how to be productive, how to utilize your time, utilize different apps, how time is money, how to manage your time. But before getting into that, I want you all to know what are the time wasters that we have and what is that takes majority of our time and it gets wasted on it and you regret at the end of the day. At this end of this video, I'm going to share the checklist of the time wasters in your day. If you haven't subscribed yet, then please subscribe to our channel Trainophile and watch our previous videos based on time. Now let's dive into today's top 5 things that you might be doing that waste your time. Number 1, not planning your next day. Yes, how many of you have faced this? We are always charged up for the next day. We all have it in our mind, but nothing is on paper. Eventually, what happens is, with the new information overloaded on the next day or the ad hoc that you get the next day, your ultimate plans or goals that you're supposed to do on that particular day gets procrastinated. It gets delayed. You are upset about it. You cannot do anything about it because you have to finish the urgent task first that you have been allotted, especially at your workplace. You have to complete the ad hocs first and then you're planning. And by the time you have reached finishing your ad hocs, you are at the end of the day. And you keep on doing this every single day. Imagine the pile of work, the amount of work that has been planned in your head, but there's no output to it. There's nothing on paper. There's no sense of achievement. There's no sense of satisfaction. So my point over here is, it seems that yesterday there was a lot that was planned in your head and you even couldn't execute 30% of it. If that is you, then this is mainly because of not planning, not dedicating, and not making a to-do list. You can always avoid problems and do things successfully only and only if you plan it well beforehand. In fact, if you plan your day a day before, you often achieve more, you work efficiently, and you gain more time for yourself. So plan successfully and carry out all the appointments that you have scheduled for the next day. Number 2, it's in continuation of point number 1. Number 2 is overwhelming list. Yes, you're so happy and you start making your planning, you start making your to-do list, you start allotting time for a specific task. While doing so, you actually become overwhelming of it. Sometimes when we plan the next day, we just want to finish and get everything ticked for the next day. finish everything without even thinking practically. You have to finish it because it's there in your list, even though practically it's not possible. So when you add too much on your to-do list, it becomes a clutter. And that's when you start overthinking and it becomes overwhelming for you. An emotional clutter to carry out everything and finish off all the tasks in the list. Your calendar and to-do list should not be overwhelming. Overwhelming, by that I mean, it should not be overloaded by impractical tasks. This may lead to not getting it done at all. Yes, you may get into depression, you may feel sad about it, you may feel unhappy about it that you're not able to achieve what you have planned. So keep it practical as much as possible, as realistic and decided priority wise. So begin with your top priorities and so on. So don't overload your to-do list. Number 3. One of the most common things that has been happening for decades. Yes, sitting in front of the idiot box. That is, watching TV out of habit. Are you one of it? I was for a while, but I've stopped now. I can actually go on and on this one. Especially we Indians. We love television to the core. Television is our first love, it seems, for entertainment. A piece of gadget one has for decades now in all the Indian households. Though there are other technologies, there's something special about this device, that is television. We all love it, we all want to be surrounded by it, and we all want to just spend time right in front of it. This gadget has its own place in each one's heart. You heard me correct. I'm talking about heart because, like you said, there's an emotional connectivity of this gadget. Although there are phones, there are smartphones and other devices for entertainment. There's some emotional and strong bond with this box. Ask this to yourself if you want to find out if you're wasting your time in front of the television. 3 things to ask. Number 1, do you watch television because you can't think of anything new? Or you just can't think anything? So you're just watching TV. Do you do that? Number 2 is, do you watch TV only because you're sitting right in front of the television? And you feel like, yes, it is obvious and it is an automated thing that happens with you. You're sitting right in front of the television and you just switch it on and start watching it. Are you one of them? Or number 3, do you often lose track of time when you sit in front of the television? You don't know how much time do you spend, how many hours you spend in front of the television. So ask these 3 questions and understand yourself that if there's a yes, then you are watching television just out of habit. And you need to stop this immediately to save time. Number 4, relationships that do not add value. Yes, investing your time is as good as comparing to time is money. Your time spent decides your future. Invest in people, relationships that are fruitful. There's always a give and take that happens, and it should happen both ways. Relationships should not drain your mental energy, your emotional energy. It's vital to stay connected with people, and it's vital to stay connected to those people, those who add value to your life, those who add value to the relationship because they want you to grow. Invest your time wisely when it comes to choosing relationships. Now, relationships could be anyone, a friend, a colleague, a student, a teacher, relatives, anyone. Choose people those who are positive and supportive in what you do and what you like doing. Someone who leaves an impact on you, who constantly pushes you to do better, who teaches you and adds value in your life. You must choose only these relationships, those who add good value for your growth and improvement. Eventually, you're going to save tons and tons of time. And number 5, not balancing your errands and professional work. So your daily errands and your professional work, there's disbalance in it. How many of you, especially women, are struggling on this one, especially on a daily basis? There's a constant thing. You might be aware of how much time you actually waste just thinking of what to cook, what to buy, what is missing in the grocery, how to handle your children, how to tackle your relatives, how to tackle your office work, how to finish your extra load that you have in your office. At times, we get into multitasking, and sometimes multitasking can ruin everything for you. There are people, those who are very good at multitasking, and there are people, those who are terrible at multitasking. You constantly have to move from one work to other. Constantly have to switch on between different tasks. So if you have to balance it well, then you need to plan everything, every tiny detail beforehand. Keep a timetable ready. Use a few products that will help you plan well, and that will be right in front of your eyes, and you will just keep on doing it on a regular basis. Like me as a person, as an individual, I am kind of a person who is, if things are out of sight, I do not remember them. Like if there's something that I've put up in the refrigerator, I need to have it on the first shelf itself so that I see it. If it goes back, or maybe, in another shelf somewhere down, I might forget what I've kept. If I do not have papers right in front of me at my table that I need to carry the next day, I might forget it in the cupboard. So it's something out of the sight is out of my mind. So I'm a person who is visually answerable and who likes to work visually, something that is visually present, and I know that I need to do that. Okay. Let me know if you want help in planning your day and how do you balance your errands and professional work. I would love to make a detailed video and tools that I utilize in my life to make it better. So I'm not very good at it, but I'm trying my best. So now, do you think that it is an eye-opener for all of us who feel that we are constantly juggling? We have that guilt being women, and we have that guilt of balancing everything correct, whether it's work, whether it's children, whether it's husband, whether it's our other relationships. We constantly have that guilt. I would say stop doing it. Be aware of what you can do best. Be aware of how you can manage those things. And giving detailed attention shall help you sort it out. In addition to this, I also feel we all know that our time is wasted and it's not in our control. So you need to pay attention closely at what is that exactly gets wasted by you. So these were my 5 major categories or activities in your daily routine that is actually a time waster. And as I promised at the beginning of this video, I have a checklist for you to rate yourself and be responsible for what is not happening right and what you can do better to make it a better day. Now here's a checklist. Do you procrastinate? Do you forget things? Do you use social media for more than 3 hours? Do you keep scrolling on your phone? Do you live in around a lot of clutter? focus on the wrong things? You can find the PDF in the description box. Get the link and download it. But the result should be, even if the three things are saying a yes, that means you are wasting 50% of your time in your day. Let me know how did you like this video, and see you soon with another informative video. Thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe Trainophile.